Welcome to the NAMB Podcast, where we bring you the voices that drive the mortgage industry. Join dynamic hosts Ginger Bell and Matt Shields as they dive into bold conversations with top experts, industry leaders, and change makers from across the country. From insider insights to game-changing trends, this is your front row seat to what's happening right now in the world of home finance.
Well, hi there. Welcome to another episode of the NAMB Podcast. My name is Ginger Bell, and I have with me my co-host, Matt Shields. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Doing great. How you doing, Ginger?
I tell you what, I could not be better because today we have one of my most favorite people in the mortgage industry, Mr. Kimber White. Hello, Kimber. How are you?
Ginger, how are you?
I'm fantastic. So for those of you listening, I'm going to do just a little bit of background on Kimber. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Kimber for many years. And Kimber is returning president to the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. And I tell you what, there are a few people who have given and given and given and continually given, sometimes thanklessly, I know, because when you're in a volunteer position, that you just, you work nights, you work days, you're in meetings. And Kimber, that's you. I mean, you just embody the passion of our industry. So first and foremost, thank you, my friend,
Thank you
for all of your dedication. I know you do incredible lobbying for us. And you've always done it as a mortgage broker.
Yes.
And the NAMB is the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. I know we went through a time where it was professionals and then brokers. And through every single moment that we have been through in our industry, you, my friend, have never changed. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, 39 years and I've never changed. You're right.
Yeah, so phenomenal. So let's hop right in. There's a ton of things going on with NAMB. You're incoming president,
Yes.
so you will be installed in October at NAMB National. And by the way, if you're listening, NAMB National is Friday, October 17th to Sunday, it's Monday, October 20th, because I know there's a lot of certifications. It's in Las Vegas. It is at the Caesars Palace, which we've been at for so many years. It's absolutely my favorite event to go to. So if you're not registered, get registered. But you're coming in. So I'm going to ask you one question. Why did you come back as president?
I came back as president, had the opportunity. There was so much I wanted to do. And of course, we all know COVID came in 2020. So life changed. Life changed all of us. We had to have a virtual trade show. Priorities had to change. We got put in our little box. We learned what Zoom was, and we learned how to do Zoom and how to do it well. And so that was, and there were a lot of things my goals, my objectives for the industry, I didn't get to do at the time. And I think that to me, that I wanted to come back. And now more than ever at the same time, I saw where we needed more education, where leadership. I wanted to come back, and everyone, I hear the word old guard, so much out there. Well, I consider myself not an old guard. I call myself a seasoned professional.
That.
Absolutely.
And as a seasoned professional, we need a sprinkle of us along with the new professionals that's coming up, because there's a lot of things that we can teach each other. And I think that NAMB, my goal is to bring NAMB forward. We talked about it, NAMB now. Mm-hmm. And have its relevancy and bring the new leadership like Matt forward with NAMB. And I'm excited to see him on this podcast and bring the young millennials up and bring those forward. And so when I leave NAMB this time, I want to leave it to a new, younger professional, because we always hear NAMB's old. Well, I will tell you, NAMB is not old. Because someone looks, it's not old. It's very polished. It's very new. And to me, that's the goals, and to help with education and to really bring my passion. I have a passion to serve, and I really do. I love helping anyone in the industry. As a producing loan originator, I have a lot to offer, because I don't sit behind a desk and just manage. I actually produce myself every day. So I think that just being able to lead us forward to the future and help having the backing to bring us to a newer generation and to set NAMB up for a longevity and long-term future.
And Kimber, thank you for the support for all the stuff that we're doing for the young professionals. You know, we couldn't do it without you. So just having the support from leadership and your passion for education, like we feel it for the young professional side. So thank you for everything you're doing for us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So let's talk about that. What are some of the new things? You brought me in a few months ago as NAMB's growth officer. So thank you for that. It's an opportunity to look at a lot of things we've talked about for a long time in terms of growth for NAMB. And one is the NAMB Hive, and that's going to be a repository of education and resources and things like what Matt's working on with the monthly young professional call. And that's going in there. And then we have our weekly success builder that's going in there. And so NAMB Hive is really that place where we can put a lot of the education where people can go and find that. And that's really what they need. There's some other things that NAMB is working on to be able to help those that are new to the industry, but maybe also been in the industry for a little bit. So can you give us a little sneak peek on some of those?
I'll give you a sneak peek that there is a mentoring program that's being put together, and the exciting details, and that is something I've had a passion for. Details will be put, and it's a mentoring in modules and longevity, like you just said, Ginger. I think we're missing that piece of, hey, where do I go to find this? Where do I go to find this? Who do I talk to? So we think of mentoring, we think on coaching. I got a coach that I got to pay XYZ dollars to. I have to have them 1 day a week or 5 days a week, or I have to do this. It's coaching. There's a lot of sales. What I don't see a lot of the coaching, mentoring is, who do I go to if I just have an issue? And also someone like me, you know, we have, hate to say this, we have pride. And, you know, and I like, well, I've got to know what I need to do. Now I got to pick up the phone and call and ask somebody something. We want everyone to feel like, hey, this is a toolbox that's going to be for everyone. So this program is going to be from starting your business to, hey, I've been in as long as I have, I need help, to a sounding board. I think that once this is put together and rolled out, you're going to see something new and exciting for NAMB. It's going to be one of my first initiatives, which is exciting that we get to roll out at NAMB National. That's all I can say.
Okay. That's so yeah, so it'll be announced at NAMB National. But let's talk about that as far as, you know, our industry has always changed, constantly changing. Obviously, rates is just one aspect, but, you know, the challenges that we have in the industry right now with lack of inventory, with affordability, with all of those things. And so providing the resources, whether it's to different lenders, whether it's to, you know, AI tools, marketing tools, you know, what you need to be doing in your business right now, that's so important because we are always changing. So having that, and then when you think of mentoring, you think of just someone new, but that's not the case, right?
No, it's not. And that's the whole thing. Mentoring is not an ability to adapt and change. And I think that's a lot of people who've been in the industry long term don't know how to adapt and change. Or they have so set in their ways, they don't know how to find something in a niche product. You know, it was joking to me. It's like, okay, Kimber, you're over 65 as of last week. Are you going to now do reverse mortgages as things? The funny thing was, someone picked up the phone literally 3 days after my birthday and said, hey, Kimber, I'm trying to do a reverse mortgage. Can you help me with a reverse mortgage? And I'm like, I haven't done a reverse mortgage in my life. I'm like, you know what? I'll learn, you know. But it was just a funny joke that's like, you're going to start doing reverses now that you're, because that is the thing is, oh, we're going to transition into that, but there's a lot more.
Right.
As I told you earlier, you know, in 1819, someone would come to me and tell me they want to do a non-QM loan. Number one, I didn't know how to do a non-QM loan. Number two, I didn't care to do a non-QM. Number three, I just had no desire. But then it came, you know what, that's going to happen. You're going to be forced into these non-QM loans. And then what happens? I'm like, you know, okay, I'll take one. I'll learn. Today, as I said, about 50% of my business is non-QM loans. It's because times change. As you said, we talked earlier, Ginger, times change. And we have to learn how to adapt. And I think that is something in 2020 that I said NAMB did very well, is we had to learn to adapt and adapt fast. And we adapt to a change. And I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm hoping to help with everything, is learning to adapt. And it's not easy. Change is going to happen with or without us.
Yeah. And it's scary. Change is scary, but when you feel that uncomfortableness growing, and I love that you're doing the non-QM. There's a lot of opportunity out there. And for our listeners, as you're getting started with your business, there's a lot of opportunity in the non-QM space. So it's just amazing to hear someone who's been doing this for 39 years, who's the president of NAMB, is open to change and changing their business for success. It's amazing for us and the new people to hear.
Yeah.
Change. I mean, I haven't been able to, and I think that's anyone getting in the business. You have to have an open mind, be willing to change, always learning, and always putting yourself out there. If you are not doing those 4 things, you're not going to succeed. And I'll say that. It's just not going to happen. And don't get discouraged. I hear so much today. We talk about rates. I hope you don't mind me saying that. Rate. The 6s are average rates. They really are. They're a normal rate. It's a normal market, and it's a normal inventory in Florida in the market here. People, we got subs at 2018 inventory in Florida. I'm like, yeah, we got a normal inventory. What we just don't have is what you said, is programs, and that is something in my future, my presidency, is to work with FHFA and to get in there. And that's one thing NAMB does have great relationships with the agencies and partnerships that we work with, and our lobbyist, who is fantastic, who works with us. So we're going to ask for these programs. A lot of the special purpose programs went away, but there are programs out there. There are state programs. There are ways to finance people into homes. We just have to be able to adapt and learn every day.
Right. Which leads to another conversation I want to have with NAMB. So NAMB is the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, but really the membership includes not just originators. It also includes our vendors, our partners, our supporters. And without that, NAMB does not have the ability to have those resources of the education, of the programs, of those kind of things. So the two go hand in hand. And I think that's important to remember, is our vendor members of NAMB are just as important as our origination members to NAMB, because we all live in this ecosystem of support and bringing opportunities to the housing market and to increase home ownership. And I think, I love that you keep saying NAMB now. And really, for those of you who are listening, if you're not a member of NAMB, it is the time to join NAMB now, because having those resources, whether you're getting started, we're seeing an influx of mortgage brokers coming back, leaving retail, going back to being mortgage brokers. And so how do you do that? How do you navigate through that, through the licensing, through the compliance, through those? NAMB has a great partner with Strategic Compliance Partners and some of the compliance tools that they offer. So, that part of it, what are some of the things that the vendors are providing for NAMB right now, like webinars and things like that?
All of our vendors, first, we cannot do it without we call them industry partners and strategic partners. We can't do it without them. It is a collaboration of their efforts to provide the tools and the information. We always tell everyone to please look at our partners, look at our websites, look what we do. Go to NAMB's website, look at everything we have, and contact these partners. Our partners give us webinars. They give us trainings. They give us tools. We have vendors that are sitting there giving us how to help with credit. We have instead of talking about non-QM, we have non-QM webinars. We have Freddie Mac, who does webinars for us, and we end up doing road shows with Freddie Mac. We end up, when we go to NAMB National, you've got breakout sessions, you've got speakers, you've got tools. And the difference, and I say this with NAMB and other trade associations and other trade shows, we bring the entire package. We heard, NAMB's old a few years ago, it wasn't fun. Well, NAMB's become fun. We put the fun into it, as you call it. We're going to have more fun this year, with DJs and parties. But what we really bring you, we want you to walk away with something that you can use in your business day to day that's free. That is what we do with our vendors. And they come around and they pay. Our vendors investment into you through our trade shows and being there at our NAMB National and then at our winter conference at NAMB Focus. That is something that they're doing because they're investing. They're investing into NAMB so that they can invest into you and offer you those opportunities. So when you leave NAMB National, you're going to leave there with tools, education, speakers, something that you can actually take and help you in your business. And I think that to me is what NAMB has done. That is only possible through our vendors. We offer it to free. I understood recently, I saw recently it says, "Oh, nothing free is good." So, I heard, if it's free, is it that good? No, it's excellent. And the reason we're free is because we feel like our members pay, and our vendors, as you just said, our partners pay to be there. We want to make sure that we give you the opportunity, the broker and the loan originator, to be there for free, give you benefits to your membership, and give the vendors an opportunity to show what they do for you.
And that's the joy of going through. I mean, when you go through the trade show, and I remember last year, it was packed.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, packed. So many vendors. 3,000.
That's amazing.
It is, and it's so much fun. I mean, and I'm just going to go through. So opening night, Friday night, we're going to kick off. And I know, Matt, you're working on getting a young professional meetup.
Yep.
We had Megan Anderson, we interviewed on our podcast yesterday. So her episode will be coming out probably after yours, Kimber. But she talked about she wants to do a meetup. So we're going to get a meetup probably right there Friday, and it's going to be a party. I know there's going to be the installation as far as the awards and things like that. And then Barry Habib is going to have his band there, Rock of Ages, and that's going to be the kickoff. That's a kickoff for NAMB. That is so cool. And then Saturday, there's so many great speakers there. I know Barry's going to be speaking, Megan's speaking. We've Kyle Draper, who's going to be talking about marketing. Chris is coming back again. He did the great Battle of the Coaches last year. We've got Alan Middleman from Freedom. He's going to be doing a great session. I'm just looking through. It's like so many things. I'm doing a couple of sessions there. And so it's that constant education, networking with other people, filling your cup. And that's a lot of it is, it's our industry. It's tough. I mean, a lot of people are business owners and that mindset. So coming to NAMB and getting recharged and re-energized is so important.
And Sunday, we're talking about it. It's like Sunday's going to be exciting with so many people on Sunday, but one person, Christo, is branding yourself. That's, so important. And I just went to an event and I was like, I'm going to sit here for maybe a couple hours. And I sat the whole day. And how you brand yourself and marketing, those type of things. And you're going to have all of this is available. And talking about fun, look up DJ Will, who's going to be our MC and DJ both days from the stage.
Nice.
Very exciting. And so you're going to have fun. You're not going to be sitting there in between speakers. You're going to have fun. You're going to have your DJ. You're going to have your MC. So it's just going. And one thing I want to tell everyone, I think everyone misses. The absolute opportunity to network with other professionals like you and to be able to talk about, hey, I got this problem. What do you think that to me is what I got more out of when I first started going than anything else was meeting other professionals that, we sit in our box all day, and no matter what we do, most of us, and we think we are the only one with this problem or this situation. And sometimes we get in our head. But when we get out amongst our peers and we say, we're not the only one. Hey, business is kind of slow. Hey, we're not the only one. How do we get out of it? What do we do? By being like-minded and in a positive mindset, when a lot of times, and it's also long-lasting relationships. I've been a part of NAMB now 16 years, and it's long-lasting relationships I've built that last forever and friendships. And that's one of the biggest things that you get out of that. I think people miss that. It's not about just the show. It's the relationships, the friendships, the camaraderie that you build, and the ability to help each other.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. But what a rewarding thing, Kimber, with what you're doing. You're giving back the leadership. You've been involved with NAMB for so long as a leader. And just to hear you say how you take so much joy in just making connections and making friendships, that's an amazing thing for someone to look at with leadership, is how excited you are to make friends with the group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I mean, we're in a people industry. If you don't like people, you're probably in the wrong business. We're a people industry, so why not work with each other? And it's been, for the longest time, it was your little cube. And I come from the old school that we always helped each other. And Ginger, you've been there with us too. We're not the more seasoned, that we helped each other. We never thought about not helping each other because we had to. And especially when 08 came,
Yeah.
And I think now more than ever, we need to open up and say, it's not my business, it's not your business. It's how we can help each other. And if I can be a part of that through my leadership with NAMB and open that up and to tell everyone that, hey, let's work together and not pull the rope together and sort of pushing against each other, I think that's going to be one of my biggest accomplishments.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for your continued service. Thank you for returning. We're excited to be able to have you come back around and what you had started, to be able to bring all of that to fruition. So we thank you for that. How can people get in touch with you? So if they want to reach out to Kimber, how can they get in touch with you, Kimber?
They can reach me at kimber.white@namb.org, or they can call me. I'll tell you myself, it's 954-696-1435. Call or text. Seriously, anytime I'm available. And one thing I do want to bring up is we just passed, the trigger leads just passed. And this is why it's also important to be involved. I first got involved with NAMB in 2010 and was going to DC and saw the lobbying efforts there at the legislative conference. And in 2018, NAMB started this track for the trigger leads, and it's passed, and it's great. It's waiting for it, but this is what NAMB does, and then other people, of course, organizations. But NAMB's got a lot of other things. We have a lot of other legislation that when we're looking at what can we do, this affects our industry. And to me, this is very important for the member to understand that without proper legislation, without things moving forward, without a voice like NAMB, that we wouldn't be the industry we are today. And I think that's just sometimes get forgotten. And NAMB has led the way, has always led the way.
Yeah, I mean, lobbying in DC, and I know I've been beside you many times when we go to Capitol and do our lobbying, and it's. I remember the first time I went, I was very overwhelmed. It's like, gosh, do I know enough to do this? And we need to do it together. So that's one of the things I'm excited, Kimber, about bringing this podcast.
Yes.
Is to be able to get our lobbyists on, and to really, and this is one of the things too, as we start growing this podcast, to get individuals on who are part of the bills and part of the things that are happening, because that's part of the education that needs to happen in the industry, is to be able to know how these things come to play. So we'll have you on again to talk about that, I'm sure, many times over the next year.
Yeah, we're excited for the year. And podcast, Matt, Ginger, thank you. This is exactly what is part of NAMB now, to bring us forward, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, very good. Well, Kimber, thank you. Matt, thank you, as always.
Thank you, guys.
We look forward to seeing you at NAMB National and having you back again. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, make sure and like and subscribe, and you can follow us at NAMBpodcast.com, and we'll see you on the next episode. So thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the NAMB Podcast, brought to you by the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. For more episodes, resources, and guest interviews, visit NAMBpodcast.com. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you soon.